Good morning. The business case for a high-speed rail link from London to Birmingham hasn't been adequately explained. There's already over a £3 billion funding gap at the heart of the project. That is the critical assessment of plans for HS2 by the National Audit Office, the government's financial watchdog. Earlier, we spoke to Transport Secretary Patrick McLaughlin.
This is a programme over a 20-year period to bring Britain up to date with rail connections that other parts of Europe have already got. It's very important that we compete in Europe and wider than Europe, and transport infrastructure is one of the ways we do that. The taxpayer invests like we did in HS1. We invest for the future.
Let's get a quick word from Joe Rukin, who's campaigns manager for Stop HS2. Good morning.
Morning, Nicky.
So, Joe, do you agree with the conclusion of the National Audit Office's report?
Well, it's pretty much everything that we've been saying for the last 3 years. The DfT have completely fabricated the case for HS2. They've just been making it up since day one, trying to get the figures to fit. Like one of the things that came out of the report is that they've used 12-year-old data to try and justify the business case. £12 billion worth of benefits comes from this 12-year-old data that grossly inflates the value of the time of business passengers and basically relies on the fact that no one works on trains. So if you've ever seen someone tapping away on a laptop or writing on a PDA or whatever on a train, you are wrong. As far as the government is concerned, that does not happen. And that's what the National Audit Office have said today. And the real thing that you've got to take out of this report is that they said, right, original cost of construction, 32.7 billion. Over the black hole, 3.3 billion. The cost of the trains, which is never mentioned, 8.2 billion. That gives you 44. And the main thing that they said is that the DfT have never included VAT. And they're saying, oh, what, do we have to pay VAT? And National Audit Office say, yeah, you got to include VAT, guys. So you stick that on. Cost of the project, £53 billion.
You sound very happy about this morning. Do you think there's been a miscalculation in another sense, in that they don't realise that people go on train journeys and use that time to work? And if a train journey is an hour and 40 minutes, that's kind of perfect, or 2 hours. And if it's kind of less than that, you don't get any work done.
No, absolutely. But they know full well that people work on trains, but their business case absolutely relies on them using this 12-year-old data that says that people don't work on trains. Because without that, you lose £12 billion worth of benefits and the entire case falls apart. The whole thing is built on sand. Like, the National Audit Office...
need this, if I may, to put Go HS2 says the rail line would be vital to provide the extra capacity our rail network needs. Patrick McLaughlin says the National Audit Office's argument is flawed as it depends too much on out-of-date analysis.
Well, that's brilliant because, the National Audit Office report is up to date as to April this year, like last month, because they said that the Major Projects Authority came in, rated HS2 amber red, which is basically there's that many problems with it, we're not sure if you can ever get it right. Their own internal auditors gave them a whole shopping list of things that were wrong, and the auditors reported back last month and said, we gave you a whole list of things to do, you've done one of them. So that's last month's information, that they've completely ignored what the internal auditors have said.
Thank you. Is it going to happen?
I hope not. They've got to see, what is the point of having
the
national...
hope not. What do you think? In your heart of hearts, your considered opinion?
I think as the cost keeps going up and up and up, they're going to realise that we simply can't afford this. It is a vanity project. There is no case for it. The NAO have proven that. Like countless academics and independent bodies have said, you're just completely making this up. And it's really worrying that politicians do not listen. Like, what is the point of having the National Audit Office, the independent scrutineer of public finances, if the government are just saying, oh, we can't be bothered listening to you?